And it was a difficult night. Really, I think what disturbs me the most was the fact that we came out so slow and so sluggish in the first half. And at halftime, I just said, guys, look, we don't have time for drama or anything, but the bottom line is I'd like to prove the second half that we actually are not afraid to play on the road, that we actually, can play with some confidence in another building away from home, and that we've got to, show some poise out here in 20 minutes. No matter what happens on the scoreboard, for 20 minutes, just please, let's compete on a higher level. I thought we again got on the road and got a little shook up and lost confidence, got into offensive rhythm. You're right, the zone bothered us a little bit, but it didn't bother the fact that we got some wide open looks. They were motivated at a whole nother speed, ready to play. They came out with a competitive edge. I think they knew we were capable of beating them, and they didn't want that to happen. Certainly we've had our way with them the last few years, and I think they were really ready. The collective group that's kind of filling in and around Brandon's absence was not ready for that, and we really put ourselves in a hole. If you look, the good news, I guess, is the second half. We outscored them, I believe, 28-22.
27-23.
And so we accomplished the second half. I'm a little befuddled by the idea that we can't do that for two halves on the road. Turnovers are just a killer for us on the road right now. And a team like that is very quick and reattacks you very quickly. And just bothered greatly by it, but I don't, we shoot, I don't even know what our percentage is before, 35%, unless you play just unbelievable defense. I think you're really putting a lot of pressure on that defense. It's hard to score. Now, I'll say this, if you told me we could hold them to about 60 points, how do you feel? I'd feel pretty good. I was hoping to maybe hold them in the 50s, but you can't get up 38 points in a half. I think the second half was a little more reflective of what we thought the game could be like. And I guess the staff and I have to just do a better job of prepping these guys for the road, and at some point maybe we'll have the confidence and get in a rhythm, and certainly if we can get Brandon Fortenberry back this year, that's I believe is going to probably make a difference for us.
When you talked about second half right there, and a little bit a game more reflective of what you were looking for. Defensively, outstanding job there, 8 for 29. But and you think about that, you're going to get more rebounds. Second half, though, McNeese State out rebounds you by 3, and that proved to be the difference of the ball game. But really, some offensive boards late in the ball game where you had a chance to maybe will it down back under 10 and get a little bit.
We had it down to 9 at one point, and then turnovers came back, and it started getting up to 11 and 12, and I think it was 39-30 at one point. And we forced them to take a timeout because the defense we were playing was kind of bothering them a little bit. They didn't know exactly what to do, but again, just about the time we've got it to a dozen. There's 10, 11 minutes to go, and maybe you can get this thing to 8 and make it interesting. You kind of get some great looks. Nothing happens. No shot goes in. You give up. Two guys fight each other for a rebound. They get a long rebound back. 50-50 balls. I bet we didn't win one of them tonight. So our aggression, I don't know if I have to give these guys permission to go smack bodies a little bit more. Finally, it seemed like in the second half we'd had enough, and we did fight back a little bit. Like you said, I think that we hold them to 27% in the second half. Again, I've got to find a way to push some buttons one way or the other to see if I can get that done for two halves. But, I thought the second half was more reflective of the kind of game it could be. But we didn't get a chance. It was just such a poor performance to begin the game, and very disappointing. I thought we'd had a little momentum after last weekend. It was going to be a test to see could we assert ourselves a little bit better, and the answer in the first half was no. We weren't ready for that yet, and trying to find someone who can give us some contributions. Roosevelt Johnson, 3 total points. And I think I told you the game was going to come down to how much could we slow Patrick Richard. And the other guys got a little too many contributions, but still, Patrick Richard was 17, about 4 below what he's averaged in the conference so far. And Roosevelt needed to be able to punish them around the basket. And, the zone kept him from doing that, I think, in part. Aaron Populus 10, Elgin 7. Needed a little more from him. Deshaun Patterson doing what he does, but only 1 assist tonight. Jeremy Campbell, 11, not bad. Todd Nelson, a good contribution off the bench, but Jan Petrovic isn't doing very much for us. Donovan Ross tries to come in. We just don't have enough. Just don't have enough right now. We don't have anybody who can step up and give us what we need, and the guy who can's over there with a cast on his foot. And, but somehow we've got to break free of that. We've got 2 games at home. I hope we can find ways to win it. We've been pretty good at home this year, but I'm sure both teams will come in with a formidable matchup. But then 10 days from now, when we go to Northwestern State, we just can't say, well, we can't score. I just don't buy that anymore. We have to be able to take our focus and our emotions to another level, and that'll be our task over the next few days with this team.
For the next 5 at home, you've taken care of the business there at the University Center, but like you just said, taking care of it. And you just said, this team can score. It's just, going to go out, try to find the confidence needed to play on the road. You look at the first 2 games on the road, Coach, and of course at UT Arlington and Stephen F. Austin. That was a close game at halftime, but second half got out of hand. This game got out of hand early, and it could have gotten worse, but I guess a little glimmer of light right there that you were able to fight for it here in the second half. Hopefully that's a building point. You take care of your business at home, and you can go try to steal one in Natchitoches in 10 days, and you're right back in the middle of this thing.
The thing is, both these programs are 7-9 right now. They've got a great confident player in Patrick Richard, and Rudy Turner is very good. He's a very formidable big man in this league right now. But I think so much of it is between our ears. And, Brandon had spent the whole summer preparing for the senior year. He'd done an excellent job. He was on a whole nother level. He was maybe a player of the year candidate. And he was ready for the senior experience. He was ready to have that year. And the other guys were coming in to maybe give a few minutes to insert themselves a little bit more into the lineup, to be complementary to the seniors we had coming back. The role that we're asking some of these guys to have apparently is a little too much. But again, Roosevelt's got to find a way to produce something for us. And, if nothing else, even at the free throw line, again, another dismal night at the free throw line. So despite our efforts to kind of focus on it, to work with guys individually, to keep focusing on those things, 9 of 18, not going to help us win the game, but certainly keeps us in it, especially when we've got the game around 9, 10, 12. You make a couple of free throws, you hang on, and this thing could get interesting. I sensed a little tightness by them when this lead was cut in half in about 4 minutes. And I just believe that there was a chance to eke back in this thing and make it interesting. We had done a lot of damage to ourselves, but, I asked the staff before the game, I said, is this team really ready for this road? Do I need to talk to them about the first week of conference play, or are we ready? And the staff said, I think we're ready. And you know what? I need to go with my instincts. I don't sense I'm going to have to push as many buttons as possible to get juices flowing and guys ready. And you think you do sometimes, but I'm going to have to find something even more effective to try to get us to come out, especially on the road, and to compete and give ourselves a chance early. We just can't. You can't go down double-digit points. Maybe 10, and get yourself back in it, because you cut that in half. It's a 2-possession game, but hard to come back with a shorter bench and all that. So it was a disappointing first half, and not the result we had hoped for, or the competitiveness we had hoped for. But hats off to McNeese. They've got some great young talent, and Patrick Richard's a great senior, and Rudy Turner's going to be very effective for them too. They're going to have a chance to compete in the league for sure.
Head coach Jim Yarbrough here at courtside as McNeese defeats Southeastern 61-47. We're going to go ahead and take a timeout. We'll go ahead and we'll wrap it up here in Lake Charles. Back in 1 minute. You listen to Lions basketball on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.